Hey, Jan, can you believe we're up to episode 30?
I know, right? It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing because we have so many people who support us.
Absolutely.
Our guest this week is Stephen Lord and will feature a song by Julia Finnegan.
As usual, we'll hear from George about what's new at Melanie.
So if you're ready, we'll get started with episode 30 of The
The
Rusty
Rusty
and
and
Jan
Jan
Show.
Show.
When the world comes crashing down on us, they're always there, and they're always happy company because they care. Oh, yes, they care. And when you need to take out pain, well, no one else will do. Got a phone or go on Zoom. Thank God there are friends like you. I said, thank God there are friends like you. Our song of the week is by Julia Finnegan.
This young woman recently came into our open mic at Melanie and blew us all away.
Yes, here is Holier Than Thou.
This is another original. It's an older one. It's called Holier Than Thou. Here I stand with my broken hands. It was not anything, but it was mine. And so it seems I will take anything, fake everything until I'm mine. Why would you want me? Why would you want me? Broken, but I'm holier than thou. And now our home is but a house. And I can't seem to cry for you. I'm broken, but I'm holier than thou. Nights grow long, but the days stay strong. We lose what pity for ourselves we have. Adapt again to something I have never been. New yet familiar in being foreign. Why would you want me? Why would you want me? Broken, but I'm holier than thou. And now our home is but a house. And I can't seem to cry for you. I'm broken, but I'm holier than thou. Take my eyes, what use to me are they? Take my lips, but please stay, oh please stay. Take my eyes, what use to me are they? Take my lips, but please stay, oh please stay. Broken, but I'm holier than thou. And now our home is but a house. And I can't seem to cry for you. I'm broken, but I'm holier. I'm broken, but I'm holier. I'm broken, but I'm holier than thou. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome again to Going Out with Rusty and Jan.
We submitted our first episode to Philly Can. Yay!
Yay!
And are very excited to air it in October. Our guests will be David and Jenny Heitler-Clevens of Two of a Kind. And as soon as we have a final confirmation about the day and time it'll air, we'll let you know.
That's right. And next week, we'll air one more episode on Facebook and YouTube with guest Barry Dwyer.
Here's some upcoming shows at Melilani Cafe. Please remember to support both the artist and the cafe. On Saturday, September 18th, Keith Shaw will perform from 2 to 5. And on Sunday, September 19th, Paul Woznicki will take the stage from 1 to 4.
Our weekly open mic is continuing to thrive. We'll continue to have our hybrid format until everyone is comfortable with being inside. We have a new sign-up time on Wednesday. It'll now be an hour later at 6 on the Melilani Open Micers Facebook group page.
XFest will take place in person at the Country Creek Winery this weekend, September 17th and 18th. To purchase your tickets, visit www.xfsmusic.org.
And the Pops Train Music Festival is continuing to take shape. As previously mentioned, it will take place on September 25th from 10 to 4 and will coincide with the Tuckahoe Transportation Heritage Festival. They will have a number of activities that day, including an excursion train, motor car rides, and display trains. We'll be performing with many great musicians that we know from our open mic, such as Keith Shaw, Kathy Quinn, Barry Dwyer, Howard Klein, Charlie Miller, 10 Strings, Two Hearts, and Railroad Wings. It's going to be songs about trains.
Or traveling.
Yeah. Wristbands can be purchased for $10 for adults and $5 for kids, and we'll give you access to all the activities. And don't forget that we're going to be filming footage for the video to go along with Pop's Train. We'd love to have you take a part of it. And listen, bring your cameras, get us some content. Let's just make this a special day, and thank you for coming out.
PFS Fall Fling will happen in person on October 1st through the 3rd with limited attendance in Green Lane, Pennsylvania. We have our tickets.
Uh-huh.
Do you?
Mm.
This is the day that we've all been waiting for, a chance to finally attend a festival in person. This weekend has always been a fun one, so we hope you'll join us. For more information, visit www.pfs.org.
I know. Can you imagine what it'd be like just to sit around in a circle with our friends?
That'll be great.
It'll be great. Now, it's time to see what George is cooking up at Melilani Cafe this week. It's time for
George's Corner.
He knows what I like. When I come home from work and my back's all tight, I sit down at the table and he serves it up real hot. Get myself excited just a sniffing around that pot. Homemade soup. All right. Well, you know, Jan, we're really lucky. We have our good friend today, George, who's going to give us a little idea about what is moussaka.
Yes, George, what is moussaka?
Well, thanks, Rusty and Jan, and I'm so excited for you guys to be moving up in the world with your radio show and everything. So moussaka is a traditional Greek dish that's got ground beef, eggplant, potatoes, and bechamel sauce, and it's made in a big flat pan, and it's made in a big sheet, so usually we cut out pieces. But it's kind of like shepherd's pie, but it's a Greek version. It's layered, and it goes eggplant, potato, and then you got ground beef that we season, and then it's topped with the bechamel sauce, which is made with flour, butter, and milk. And we also have other versions of that we make with pasta and stuff like that. So it's definitely a Greek thing, moussaka, and the way you cook it.
Okay, so it's shepherd's pie or it's Greek lasagna. Is that about right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I know I've had it. It's lovely. My mouth is watering as you're describing it. So, what are your memories of Jenny and David, who are our guests this month?
Oh yeah, so I was lucky and fortunate enough to actually host them, and I've seen them perform a few times. And they're a wonderful couple that definitely that I see on Facebook and stuff too. I love their feeling and vibe, and their music is great. They definitely are folk singers, and they do a lot of like cool covers and stuff. And I've had the pleasure of seeing them live at Malani.
Yes. And so how is the music program over there going in general right now?
Yeah, so it's going great. We, obviously going through the summer. The summer's wrapping up. We have our open mic on Thursday, and then we have music on the weekend, and it's going well attended. And we're definitely trying to move forward, support musicians as much as we can. And I think, we did a lot of virtual stuff this year that was great. And I think that really helped for us to keep the music going, is being able to do virtual. And then when we were able to do in-house, we started to do. So doing a hybrid was something cool.
Awesome.
And the persistence of musicians is very important, so. And that's why I'm here today, to support music and food. Those things go together, so. And I think that the music is so important. We have to keep it going.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And you've always been such a supporter of the arts in that community. So
yeah, and to go even a little further is to be a community resource for all things artistic and music. I mean, you've done so much more for people who just need to express themselves somehow, and they know they can go to Melilani, and they'll be welcome there.
not to mention the food is great.
Yeah.
All right, George, until next time.
Till next time, my friend.
All right, take care.
Thank you, Rusty and Jan.
No problem,
Thank
buddy.
you, George. Bye.
Bye.
We're introducing a new segment called This Month in Music History. It'll be a regular part of our format as we move forward. Why don't you get us started, Rusty?
Okay. On September 2nd, 1957, Pete Seeger plays We Shall Overcome at the Highlander Folk School in Tennessee as part of its 25th anniversary celebration. On hand was Martin Luther King Jr., who gives the closing speech at the celebration. The song becomes ingrained with the civil rights movement as King and Seeger fight for equality.
And on September 3rd, 1968, Ringo returns to the Beatles after quitting in frustration during the White Album sessions. He finds his drum covered in flowers. Isn't that nice?
Yes. And Queen frontman Freddie Mercury is born on September 5th, 1946, as Farag Bulsara in Zanzibar, a set of islands off the coast of Africa.
On September 7th, 1936, Buddy Holly is born. He lives just 22 years but influences many of the biggest stars of the 60s, including the Beatles. Don McLean's American Pie is about his death.
Yes, when he was gone, there was a silence. All you could hear were the crickets.
Oh my God.
On September 8th, 1955, in an attempt to hide the wrinkles in his suit, Chuck Berry does the duck walk for the first time.
Quack, quack. On September 17th, 1967, appearing on The Ed Sullivan Show, the Doors are asked to change the line, "Girl, we couldn't get much higher," and their hit, "Light My Fire," to "Girl, we couldn't get much better." Lead singer Jim Morrison agrees and then sings the offending line anyway, angering the host and earning a lifetime ban from the show.
Oh my God, Ed Sullivan having to put up with those kids. I don't know how he did it, really. The pitch correction software Auto-Tune hits the market on September 19th, 1997, and soon becomes ubiquitous in recording studios, especially after Cher hits #1 with her auto-tuned Believe.
Sadly, on September 20th, 1973, Jim Croce is killed in a plane crash in Natchitoches, Louisiana at age 30.
On September 24th, 1988, Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy becomes the first a cappella song to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show opens in Westwood, California on September 26, 1975. Featuring a young Meatloaf along with Tim Curry and Susan Sarandon, the movie tanks but later becomes a cult classic with audience members shouting back at the screen and bringing toast, toilet paper, and other assorted items to enhance the viewing experience.
And that's it for this month in music history.
We had the pleasure of interviewing Stephen Lord.
And this is how it went. Well, it's really been an amazing year with the pandemic and everything, and it's with a lot of mixed blessings. Wouldn't you say, Jan?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And one of the things that we started doing was some open mics around the area that were virtual. It was not much, and I felt like we were in better shape because of it.
Absolutely. And we did our own too.
That's right. And in that process, we met some very interesting people with some really great talent and ability, such as our guest today, Mr. Stephen Lord.
How you doing, Stephen?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
So, to get started here, tell us about your musical beginnings. What caused that spark that got you first playing?
Well, growing up, we had music in our household all the time. Saturday morning, we're doing our chores. My mother had her records on. She was very much into musicals, so she had all the soundtracks for the great musicals of the day, and Camelot and
King and I.
Mikado. We heard them
I
all.
was there. I get it.
But then about sixth grade, fifth grade, I think I started playing trumpet, and I played that all the way through high school. A couple years after high school into college, and during high school I took up guitar and realized, hey, this is fun. Can entertain my friends, can play some music of the day.
Do you ever pick up the trumpet anymore?
Every now and again.
Yeah.
Every now and again.
Well, I'm just trying to conceptualize when Jan and I finally put together our string quartet and everything. That would be good to have resources. So.
You mean our chamber ensemble?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
A little harder to keep up on the trumpet if you don't play it all the time. Guitar, you can give it up, and it takes a little less time, I think, to get that muscle memory back.
Yeah. People talk about the lip. There's no question.
Yeah. But trumpets will lose their lip before a lot of others. Saxophone is the same way. I find that flute I can leave it and I'll come back and it's fine. With saxophone, it's like, oh my God, this is killing me now.
Yeah.
So same kind of thing. It's a chop killer.
Correct.
So who are your musical influences? Who'd you like to listen to back then?
So back then, I listened to a lot of different groups. I loved back in the day, Talking Heads, Neil Young. I was a big Grateful Dead fan there for a while. And but my favorite band of all time, who made me smile back then, and even now when I listen to them, make me smile more, is a band called NRBQ. And they didn't have any big hits, but they played the music that they loved. And they're kind of known for playing a bunch of different types of music. So they didn't pigeonhole themselves. We're a rock band. We're a jazz band. The theory, the idea behind the group was we're going to play kind of whatever we want, whenever we want.
Does that stand for something, NRBQ?
New Rhythm and Blues Quartet.
Wow.
Okay.
I like that idea. Okay.
I guess originally they started out as a quintet. They lost a member, and the Q was able to stand as a quartet. So
Nice.
I see.
We're going to have to check those out.
That's not a recipe for being a big popular hit, by the way. People, they like to, you got to pick a genre. We're a country band. We're a rock band. And maybe held them back from getting a lot of popular acclaim.
Yeah.
How do you feel they influenced your music?
Well, maybe as you noticed, you mentioned your open mic, which I have enjoyed and found those to be a godsend throughout the pandemic here. Like you said, I've met a lot of wonderful people, at least virtually. A few of them I have since met in person. And I'll play a lot of different tunes here and there. And really, I get that from them because they'll play something from Sun Ra. They'll play a random old 30s song, some rockabilly, and a bunch of their own originals as well.
Yeah.
So just the idea of playing, whatever you want. I try not to play all the songs you might typically hear at an open mic night on any given night you're out there.
Yeah. Well, I find the jam sessions or the online things that like we did with you, where we just go around from one to another. It's like we're playing this little game of, hey, look what I found.
Yeah.
And it's
right.
Like that.
Yep.
And what I discovered is somebody might play a tune, you guys might play a tune, and that would spark something in me and say, oh, that reminds me of another song, and I'll dig it up and try and do it as well. So you get inspiration from hearing a bunch of different people and what they pick to play on any given night.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think virtual is going anywhere. We see that, but then we see how it accomplished so many things for so many people.
Yeah. Um, Tell us a little bit about your songwriting process.
So I'm the king of unfinished songs. I have,
I
10 or
might
12,
challenge you.
right? 10 or 12 at any given time that are sitting around and, hoping to become something. Uh, Typically, I'll have like a chord progression or something like that and try and put lyrics in it. And other ways is I'll have a turn of phrase come to my head or something pops in my head. I'll jot that down and I'll try and make something from that.
Sure.
Okay.
My most recent song was inspired by somebody and you interviewed on the show, Carrie Rumpf. And we were at an open mic and we watched 3 or 4 of our friends come up. They did a lot of really good original songs, and he just kind of quipped as a joke. I wrote a song once and it sucked. I actually turned that into a song pretty recently, and he's actually played it a bunch of times out. And most recently, someone who had saw him play it before, saw him at another show and said, "Hey, why don't you play your song?" What, Elton John? And she's like, "No, the one about you." And I actually named it CR's Lament after him.
Oh my God.
That was nice.
He
It
told
got a
us about
request.
that.
Well, it's funny because we said to him originally, but we wouldn't have him on the show, and he said, "But I don't write any songs." And so,
I'm like,
well,
oh,
try,
I didn't know that. I'm sorry. And he wrote one,
I
and it
know.
was pretty good.
It was very good. And I've gone on to play that as well, cover that myself. That was a good song. And I know indeed he did was part of writing another song that's also.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
We've created a monster.
I know.
We actually got to see him, actually to meet him in person at an open mic a couple weeks back. So that was really great. Just just meet up. We hope to meet up with you someday.
One of these days we'll get to meet you in person and not
Yeah.
inside our computer.
Right.
I had hoped to be there, but unfortunately I was on vacation.
Yes.
That was.
I saw your pictures on Facebook. You were doing some pretty amazing things.
Yeah.
Had a good time. Had a good time.
Oh,
Looked
yeah,
like it.
yeah.
Looked like it. So why don't you play us a song?
Sure. I'm going to play a song here I wrote quite a while ago, and it was inspired by something I read. Got up one morning and read in the newspaper about the Great Molasses Flood that took place in Boston back in 1919, I believe. So I'm going to play that for you. This is a story of the Great Molasses Flood. Now gather up your children and hear the story of, well, the horrors and the panic. They're gonna say you are a liar when you tell them of the story of the Great Molasses Mine. 70 years ago in Boston this day, 30 million gallons coming down in waves. And I know you wouldn't believe me if I said it was 30 feet. A different kind of sight from your mind you'll never keep. Well, this is the story of the Great Molasses Flood. Now gather up your children and hear the story of, well, the horrors and the panic. They're gonna say you are a liar when you tell them of the story of the Great Molasses Mire. Of the flood, they lingered long and far about on the floors and the doors, and they quickly sealed the doubt that this couldn't happen. Well, it couldn't ever be. 30 million gallons coming down on me. This is the story of the Great Molasses Flood. Now gather up your children and hear the story of, well, the horrors and the panic. They're gonna say you are a liar when you tell them of the story of the Great Molasses Mire. Didn't count the horses that died that winter day. For one bell for each man, ring 21 times that day. For the mothers and the fathers, for the children and the wives. One sigh for luck and another one for life. Now you've heard the story of the great molasses flood. Now gather up your children and tell the story of, well, the horrors and the panic. They're gonna say you are a liar when you tell them of the story of the great molasses fire.
Lovely.
Woo! That was great.
You know, it seems like one of the saddest persons affected during the pandemic is a bass player.
Yeah.
You know, what are you
That
going to
is
do?
true.
You know, I mean, it's really so. And if you like playing with other musicians, it was a really had really get your head around it. You know, it was tough. You know,
Yeah.
so.
Pretty much. That's something I look forward to. I would go to a lot of open mics, get together with friends and jam. And that is definitely something I really missed.
We missed that too. You know, if I didn't have Jan to play with, you know, it would be an entirely different thing. So,
Yeah, I mean, it would be the same thing as me being a bass player, you know, just the other end of the spectrum. Well, who would I play with if it weren't for you?
so who do you play with now as things are opening up again?
You know, right now, not doing much of anything with anybody. I was playing with a local singer-songwriter, Christine Kinslow. About a year and a half ago, she kind of retired and is splitting her time between Utah and Pennsylvania. So we haven't done a whole lot of gigs, but there for 4 years, we did a bunch of gigs together. And you know, unfortunately, we have a kind of standing gig last few years with a group called Rough and Tumble, and they support and promote and really celebrate steam engines is what they do. So they have a big fairgrounds with a museum, and they have trains running around, and we got involved with them, and we've been doing they would have a picnic in the summer and a banquet during the fall. This year, unfortunately, it was scheduled for a day. I'm not around, won't be able to make it.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Well, you'll just have to come to our Pops Train Festival, you know,
Yeah.
September 31st.
I was watching it.
Yeah.
So,
So being more of a collaborative musician, who would be your dream musician to collaborate with? Local, famous, dead or alive, anybody, if you could pick anybody, who would it be?
male, female.
Anybody.
So I guess depending when I heard that question might be a different answer, but right now, one of my favorite guitar players is, again, I'm Eddie Perez, and he's just a fantastic guitar player. Would love to be able to have him sit in with him, see what he could do on an original song of mine. That would definitely be a dream.
Oh, yeah, that.
We'll have to Google that one.
Yeah, and what's his name again?
Eddie Perez, and he plays for a band called the Mavericks.
Oh, we
Yes,
love the
we love
Mavericks.
the Mavericks.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So,
And
So why don't you
he's,
give
kind
us-
of he's kind of the perfect accompanist because you know, he plays just whatever they need when they need it, and you know, if they need him to shine, do a solo, steps in, does that, and steps right back to just pure accompaniment.
yeah.
Maybe you'll get to actually play with the Mavericks someday.
That would be something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you do some sweet stuff on guitar.
Absolutely.
I've listened to you over the course of being to these virtual open mics. You do some really nice stuff. So
Appreciate it.
And I can see the Mavericks type influence in the music that you play. Yeah.
And they're kind of another band. They're, you know, kind of country, but they play a lot of Tex-Mex. They do a lot of rock type stuff. So they're kind of fluid in their, you know, kind of what they play. They're kind of hard to pigeonhole.
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They definitely are. I love them.
So you want to play another song for us?
Sure will. I'll play a song called Hoodoo and the Medicine Man for you. A long time ago, on a spooky little line, in a smoky little room, dressed in black and always smiling. With a medicine man, he'll trade you for your swill or half a silver dollar. Mix up any kind of drink, shout out any kind of holler. With a medicine man. Like we do. sleeping, hardly eat. When a hoodoo man gets dancing, gets a shaking in his feet, I say voodoo. I think I'm feeling it too. Who you gonna run? Who you gonna run to? You know that nobody else can make it like you do. You can really tell them once, looking through you, coming to you, straight at you, all undone. I said, medicine man, in the center of it all, on a spooky little line. And now he's hardly dressed at all, but he's still always smiling. Medicine man, who you gonna run? Who you gonna run to? Nobody else can make it like you do. Who don't got the voodoo, you do, hoodoo, I do. We all don't got the voodoo, you do. When the medicine man, hoodoo, I do. Who don't got the voodoo, you do, hoodoo, I do. We all don't got the voodoo, you do. When the medicine man, nobody else can make it like you do. You know that nobody else can make it like you do. You know that nobody else can make it like you do.
Wow, that
yeah.
was rocking.
Yeah, really good.
Thank you.
Very, very clever lyrics.
Yeah, and those lyrics, they actually just came to me. Both of those songs I wrote, the lyrics came all at once, and it was done. And then I got these other songs that I'm fighting with, trying to get something.
Yeah,
It's kind of odd how that works.
yeah, yeah.
So before we let you go, where would our viewers go if they want to hear more of your music?
So right now, for me, everything music related, you'll find on my personal Facebook page.
Okay.
And I got a little project cooking in the background here, and if that pans out, we're going to set up a page for that. So we'll keep our eyes out for that.
Excellent.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Yeah. And we'll see you out there somewhere.
Someday.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
joining us. It was wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you. Take care.
Well, Rusty, I thought that was an interesting interview with Steve Lord.
Yeah, we always enjoy so much hearing the backstory of our friends. He is one of our newer friends, so it was great getting to know him a little bit better.
In honor of the 20th anniversary of 9/11, we'd like to leave you with a song Rusty wrote shortly after the tragedy.
It's a song about survival, and it's called As the World Goes Marching On.
I tell a joke, you crack a smile as the world goes marching on. I'll make you laugh if you try not to cry as the world goes marching on. I'll take a chance, I'll try to dance, get on a plane, things aren't the same. I tell a joke, you crack a smile as the world goes marching on. I'll sing a song, I will go on as the world goes marching on. I'll have a beer, wash down the fear as the world goes marching on. I'll play the game, I'm past the pain, but you know it won't be the same. The world has changed. I tell a joke, if you crack a smile as the world goes marching on. I'll take a chance, get on a plane. I'll try to dance, though things aren't the same. So I'll tell a joke, you crack a smile as the world goes marching on. I'll tell a joke if you crack a smile as the world goes marching on.
Here's some upcoming shows at Melalana Cafe. Please remember to support both the artist and the cafe. All right, let me do that.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah. Here's some. Sadly, on September 20th, 1973, Jim Croce is killed in a plane crash. And, oh my God, what the heck is that? That shit. I'm just going to say Louisiana's. I'm not saying that word. I don't know what the hell that is.
Not
Yeah.
Not your.
We're just gonna say Louisiana.
Not your toches. Not your toches. Not your toches. Not your toches.
Not your toches?
Not your toches.